you're still using Serum 2 like it's Serum 1, you're leaving bass power on the table. Here are 10 game-changing tricks for modern drum and bass sound design to make your bass hit harder, growlier, and nastier than ever. Let's dive in. The first tip to sound design in Serum 2 is selecting a sick wavetable as your source sound. Now, Serum 2 comes with a bunch of awesome new wavetables. I encourage you guys to explore each and every one of them because there's some really interesting timbres in these wavetables. Sound design is all about starting with the best source, and that's why this is so integral and important. So here's a sick wavetable that I like, part of the digital collection. It's called Bark. I love how gritty and nasal this sounds. Remember to explore the different wavetable positions. Each one is a different frame of the sound palette, so you get a different timbre depending on where you change that dial. And this is where developing a critical ear is so important because you're looking for the best sound. So you have to scrutinize and really decipher which sound to start with. Here's another one I love. It's called 𝗙𝗢𝗚𝗢𝗪. Again, very nasally. And this is what I'm looking for modern drum and bass sounds. It's got this grotty sound, which sounds really in your face. And when you add processing and distortion, it really takes it to another level. Now, don't mind that there is no sub bass in these sounds because we're going to be adding the sub bass after. The next step is to warp your wavetables with the new warp modes. And lovely that now there are 2 warp modes in Serum 2. I actually really love the distortion warp modes. Essentially, you can distort or clip the wavetables to make it sound even grittier. So here's the tube warp. I love this because now you're distorting it right at the source, as opposed to distorting it after all the envelopes and processing and filtering. Watch what happens to this sine to square wavetable when I add distortion. Just really maximizes that sound. Try employing a second warp mode. The new FM mode is really good. We're using Oscillator B to modulate, Oscillator A. And then you can swap the 2 modes and have FM go into the tube. You might get different results, so experiment. By the way, if you're looking for Serum 2 presets, I have a new pack aimed at jungle and drum and bass. It's called Jungleism. It'll be coming out soon, but here's a few sounds I created for the pack. To learn more about my Serum 2-pack Jungleism, check the link down below and sign up for updates. The next modern drum and bass design trick is employing a phaser filter. So in Serum, these phaser filters are actually kind of like a notch comb filter, and depending on which one you choose, it has 1 or 2 notches down, and this creates an almost more nasal sound. So here's the sound before. I'm using the Bark wavetable, adding some tube, and then turning on the phaser. Let's try phaser 36 plus. And it's all about adjusting the cutoff to the sweet spot. Here's where that critical ear comes into play once again. Boost up the resonance. Increase the drive. So the phaser filter is actually what makes those nasal frog or cricket bass sounds especially popular in jump up drum and bass. The beauty of Serum 2 is now there are dual filters. So don't be afraid to activate filter 2. This time we have a comb filter. Before, after. Now the routing of the 2 filters is important too. So right now they're independent, meaning they're 2 parallel signals that layer on top of each other. However, you could also do it so it's serial. To do that, you just go click this M button, and instead of sending filter 1 to the main bus, you can send it to filter 2. And this will then send the signal over here. That'll give you completely different results. This next filter has been used so much in drum and bass recently that it deserves its own tip, which is to employ the Formant filters. And there's 3 of them in Serum. This comes from Serum 1 as well. This is how you get those bass sounds to sound like it's talking. You choose the Formant filter and then play with the cutoff, automating it. So normally you would send the LFO to the cutoff and adjust the amount. Depending on the direction of the automation, that'll dictate how that vowel is enunciated. You may want to increase the drive, and changing the Formant parameter will change the vocal tonality. Kind of opens up the throat. Definitely try out the other Formant filters. The one I use the most is Formant 1. It has that classic talking bass sound. Before we move on, reminder that the randomization parameter, usually I like to set that at 0, meaning there's no randomization. If you want the wavetable to always start at the same, otherwise the wavetable will play at a different phase each time you hit the key. If you want that random sound, however, I like things to sound the same every time I hit the note, so I have randomization set to 0. Now the next step is to add a sub bass on top of the mids. And today, most producers would add a separate instance of Serum and play the sub bass off that. It gives you more control in the notes and other parameters of the sub bass. However, in this video, we'll just focus on adding the sub bass within this patch. So we'll go into the sub oscillator. Now, usually I use a sine wave. But now we have a clipped sine wave, and the clipped sine wave often sounds a little more audible on weaker sound systems. So I like this as well. Now that's only if you want to use the sub oscillator. And remember, you can always set the sub oscillator as a direct out so that any effects processing won't apply to the sub. But we'll talk more about that later. For now, we're going to go into oscillator B and use this as our dedicated sub oscillator. So Serum 2 has some amazing analog wavetables, which are great for sub bass. And here's some of my favorite wavetables from Serum 2. The 𝗙𝗛𝗘𝗘 is great. And for this kind of sine wave, I like to clip it a bit. So using the clipper. Do experiment with the other distortion modes. I love how warm that sounds. 𝗙𝗥𝗘𝗘 is also a sick wavetable for sub bass. Not to mention the wavetable called Perfect 808 Sub Shapes. I don't list my favorite wavetables for bass on the screen so you can try them out yourself. Now we gotta talk about routing, and this is also important since we've been talking about filtering. Within each wavetable, if you click the button here for the routing, you notice if it's set to filter, there's a dial that switches it from 1 to 2. If you're using serial mode, how I am, feeding filter 1 into filter 2, you may want to make sure that the wavetable is sent exclusively to filter 1 first, and that no signal goes to number 2. If you have it in the middle, essentially you're in parallel mode still because you're sending the oscillator signal to both of the filters independently. So that's very important to note, is to make sure this dial is set to what you want it to be. Be intentional and specific about your routing. So let's set it only to 1. Now my oscillator is being sent to filter 1 exclusively, then going to filter 2. Now filter 2, I actually don't want it to go into main because we're going to do some interesting bussing and mixing, which is the next tip, which is Serum's new mixing console or mix routing, which allows for some awesome new opportunities for sound design. Because now you can send sounds to different buses. For example, I want this filter 2 sound to be sent to bus number 1, and I actually don't want it to go to the main. I don't want it to go anywhere actually except bus 1. And then for oscillator B, which is currently not being sent to anything else but main, you can either set this as direct out, so it won't be processed by anything at all. Or we can say, let's send this not to anything, but we want it to go to bus 2. If you flip into the FX mode, you'll see on the left corner here, we now have the main effects. Now you have bus 1 and 2. That's what the routing corresponds to, that you can now send a signal to these two buses and process each sound independently. Which brings us to our next tip, which is to employ multi-band compression to really bring out the subtle frequencies of a wavetable. So click on multiband. The new compressor in Serum 2 has improved a little with additional parameters. Essentially, the more negative the value, the more it'll get compressed because your threshold is smashing any signal above this level here. But since it's compressing it, you'll have to make it up with gain. Then play with the high, mid, and low band compression parameters. I believe what's new to Serum 2 is now we have these gain levels for each band. And then we also have the crossover frequency for these bands. So that determines when the mid band splits into the high band. And similarly, where the low band splits into the mid band. Let's add an EQ, and we're going to take out the bottom of this bass sound. Because we already have a sub, and our sub is playing in bus 2. And maybe in bus 2, perhaps we'll add some distortion on that sub even more. And that sounded nice and beefy. The next tip is to play with the new bode frequency shifter. Really love the interesting sonics you can create with this effect. Essentially what this does is it changes the frequency range of the sound without essentially changing the pitch. What you have to do first is to set the range of frequency shifting. Normally I like round numbers such as 440, which is the key of A, and then play with how much you're shifting it. Now the left and right are shifted in contrast, so you'll get a stereo sound. To prevent this, you'll just have to change the direction to all the way up or down. And that's what I want. And then shifting it just a little bit and increasing that range actually to 880. After it's a nice and thick sound. The next tip, I love this effect, is the new Convolve effect. Essentially what this is an impulse reverb effect. An impulse reverb essentially records a small tap or a small sound in a room, and it uses that impulse to create a reverb. And then there's a number of different rooms that you can choose from here. Let's try wide hall. And you have to be careful with the decay. Some of the decays are so long that it might create a lot of distortion when it trails out. So make sure your decay is at a reasonable level. Now, the real cool thing about this is when you go into some really weird impulses. For example, this one called Bits Motion. This is the one that messes it up. If your decay is all the way here, you'll see that the impulse trails out and then it goes up here. And that's where it'll create mass destruction on your speakers. Properly, I'll show you what happens. And that's not even all the way. So just be careful. I'm going to bring it down. So this impulse really changes the character of your sound. It reminds me of the Convolve effect in Trash 2, where it had like animal, like pig, and like frogs. So this is going to open up a whole new window of opportunity for sound. Now adjust the mix to your liking. Now, as you can see, it's super loud. What you can do is you can probably add a compressor after the signal. And I love that you can add multiple instances of effects now. Very useful. Love how metallic it sounds. Let's try this one, Chains. Really sick. Next tip, and we can't talk about sound design without talking about Serum's distortion effect. So if you've used Serum, you must be familiar with it now. I think a couple new algorithms, specifically soft saturation, which 𝗙𝗢𝗘𝗘 told me he's quite proud of this one. I believe they modeled some really intricate analog circuits for this one. So do play with the distortion and also the different algorithms of distortion. The next thing I want to talk about is the new channel split effects. And this is lovely, especially when you split a signal between the lows and highs or even more. So you can choose the splitter and you can choose the crossover frequency for the lows and highs. And then from within here, then you can add additional processing. Maybe you want to add a filter for the high end. So you just click the high and drag the filter in here, and then the filter will only be in the high frequencies. And for example, we might want to go into lows and add some distortion on the lows. You can drag it into the lows. And we have the highs here. So another window of opportunity for sound design, having this splitter. Now, since we're working on two buses here, bus 1 is for the mid bass, bus 2 is the sub, you may want to glue the two sounds together. So those two sounds are still being sent to the main. So we can go and add a compressor and then adjust the threshold accordingly. And this is where that high mid split might help, because you may want to do that here and process the high amount here. This is only when you have a lot more thicker frequencies, I guess. I think with this example, I have the sub dedicated to bus 2, so it wouldn't really make sense. I'm sure you'll run into an application where you'll need to do that, so just keep that in mind. The last tip I want to talk about is the new noise generators. I love these new noise generators because you have a lot more control. So first, there's a dedicated filter on the noise. You can add stereo depth. And then there's also a pink noise generator, as well as a brown noise generator. Love the Geiger one, which is interesting. This increases the count of noise. As you increase the count, there's more, I guess, these dots, which is the noise. Very useful for adding texture to your bass. So here I've added that brown noise. I'm automating with LFO1. Just added some texture. Oh, one final tip for modern bass sounds, which is very popular these days and trendy, is to use an LFO with a triplet mode. So turning on the triplet mode here, you'll find that a lot in modern drum and bass. All right, so I'm making some final changes. I decided to go to oomph, wavetable, and disabling some of the other effects. It was simply for demonstration. And let's hear this over a quick beat. Oh yeah, we're on the start to some sick bass sounds. All right, there's your 10 tips for Serum 2 for modern sound design in drum and bass. Experiment and use your critical ear when you're using these techniques. Combine these techniques, you'll get some crazy sounds. If you're looking for Serum presets to jumpstart your creativity, you can check them by Gnarly Volume 1 and Volume 2 preset packs. They both work on Serum 2, and you can employ the new filters on them to get more juice out of the sounds. Of course, if you want to grab those packs and more, you can support us by checking out deviantaudio.com, where we have more sample packs, preset packs, and Ableton kits to help you along your journey. You can learn more down in the links below. To see more videos about drum and bass sound design, check this playlist up here. And to learn about drum and bass arrangement, check this playlist up here. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay creative and peace out.